PTF and Mikee P back with you in the Money Media YouTube channel. Graded stakes prep action for the Kentucky Derby this weekend. This video brought to you by our friends at Twinspires.com and their contest program. We'll talk a little bit about them later. Fun contest on Saturday on this Lecomte Day card. We've got it covered on audio over wherever you get your audio podcasts. Make sure you check that out as well in the Money Players podcast. Mikey, there's going to be a favorite in here that we actually have a picture of to share. This is a horse called Built. And as you can see from the photo, not a bad name, good-looking physical specimen, this horse. Is he a deserving favorite in the Lecomte?
I do think he is a deserving favorite in the race. We had a video for the Gun Runner back in December to start that road to the Derby at Fairgrounds. This horse was in that race. Now, it was just a short field, 5-horse race, but broke from the rail, jumped out early, was able to dictate the race, and then really kicked in the stretch. Looked like a good thing. You can see in that picture there how he finished up very well within himself. He deserves to be the favorite moving forward on this Fairgrounds road to the Derby.
Now, as you say that, I agree that, parimutually, the horse has done enough to earn that favoritism based on that run. But I must say, you look at this race on paper, the number Built earned stands out, but it couldn't have been earned under easier circumstances. And ultimately, from a parimutuel point of view, I think I might be leaning in another direction, though he certainly would be on any short list one would talk about for this race. Let's move on to some of the other contenders. Second on the morning line, a horse I'm giving a lot of consideration to. Frank McGoey over on our audio podcast made a pretty passionate case about Disco Time, this Brad Cox trainee, terrific breeding by Not This Time. Cox Barn going very well at Fairgrounds. This one unbeaten and untested in 2 starts, has shown some versatility too, stalking and pouncing on debut, and then having enough speed to win gate to wire. Second time out, what do you make of Disco Time?
I really do like Disco Time. This is a Juddmonte horse for Cox. Now, 2 starts so far, undefeated. If you watch the replays at Churchill, it's the way this horse does it. Looks to have a very high cruising speed. If he, 7 furlongs first time out, he just cruised around there, wasn't asked to the stretch. Then he stretched out to a mile. Very similar type trip. Took some pressure early, but always looked within himself. And then when the stretch comes, this horse kicks and nobody can go with him. I do think the 2 turns, the stretch out, should fit this horse very well, especially given his style. He could switch on and off. This horse looks very difficult to beat in this race. I know he's 9-2 morning line. And then if you listen to Frank talk about this horse training in the morning, very favorable reviews. So I think Disco Time could really take another step forward and maybe stamp himself as a huge contender for the Derby.
We will get to our final selections on the race in just a little bit. Going to talk about a couple more of the contenders. Do want to let you know that we did get the inside word that the 3 and the 5 will be coming out of this spot. So that was one of the interesting long shots I know you had some idea about talking to. But another horse I want to make sure that we get to in here is the one runner Innovator, a horse I know you had something to say about. Took a while to win the maiden, getting that at 7th asking, but did show a lot more late pace last time. And, D. Wayne Lukas, no stranger to success on the Triple Crown Trail. What do you think of Innovator?
No stranger at all. And this looks like a typical Lukas horse, right? He likes to run his horses. This horse has 7 lifetime starts. But if you look back at the class lines, you see horses like Sandman, Chancellor McPatrick, Barnes, Kale's Angel. So there's plenty of horses that are very much on the road to the Derby and that are looked favorably upon by others that are pointing to this race. So I do think that he has some class, even though he just broke the maiden. This horse breaks like a shot every time. If you watch that Oakon race, this horse was in front as soon as they sprung it. So now he's stretching out here. You got the rail. You get the regular barn rider here also with Torres. So I think this horse is definitely going to be in front early. It's just a matter of, can he navigate the 2 turns? Can he navigate the pressure he's going to face with horses like Built in this race, with horses like Maximum Promise in this race? It's going to be contested, but he's got a little bit more hidden class, I think, than some of these others in here. So he's interesting, and he's 10-1 morning line.
We will get to our final selections of the race in just a minute. Just want to remind you that we're sponsored today by our friends at Twinspires Tournaments. Go to twinspires.com, navigate over to the Tournaments tab, there's a good contest on Saturday. You can punch your ticket to the new major in horse racing contest, the Kentucky Derby betting challenge through this $400 Lecomte qualifier. There's going to be KDBC seats and cash on the line in this one. No BCBC. We talk about those in other videos. That's a major a little bit later in the year. But I know, Mike, you've been following these contests with interest. We've had a lot of people from our YouTube channel and our podcast having great success in these.
Yeah, fantastic success from a lot of the people that follow In the Money, guys like Jackson Muniz. Matt Miller certainly has given plenty of testimonials in regard to these Twinspires contests. Well, this is another big contest here, especially when these Derby preps are on the line. $400 Lecomte KDBC qualifier. You have 200 bankroll, 200 goes to the prize pool. You have to bet 5 races, and that's pretty typical for a lot of these Twinspires contests. So there's 41 people already signed up for this contest. You get KDBC seats. I would think these contests have been going up over the 75 mark most weeks. So that'll be 3 seats to that KDBC. You can bet win, play, show, exacta, try, and doubles in these contests. So live money. You got to jump in on these contests every weekend.
Twinspires.com, navigate over to contests, easy to get started. I'm going with Disco Time. I mean, you probably knew that from the comments we made already. I respect Built. I thought you made an interesting case for Innovator, but I think Disco Time, with the key factor being that firsthand report we got from our man Frank McGoey, who's been clocking down there at Fairgrounds, looks ready to take a step forward. This horse, I think, ready to start appearing on some Derby top 10 type lists, which gives me also an opportunity to plug our own In the Money Media YouTube channel. We know a lot of people watching haven't already subscribed. You're going to want to do that. We're going to have more top 10 videos than ever throughout the season. Best way to make sure you don't miss any of our YouTube exclusive content is to subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell so you never miss any of that content. There's going to be a lot of it coming fast and furious with videos for every prep and those top 10 lists. Mike, feet to the fire time. Who do you like in Lecomte?
I do like Disco Time. It's really hard to argue with, but I will try Innovator in this race. I do think his class, his speed, the stretch out, connections, there's lots of things to like here. And if he's able to pass this 2-turn test, he's going to be in a lot of these Derby preps going forward.
And maybe some 1-11-13 exactas to back up on my Disco Time opinion. If I were playing in that contest, though, I would not mind being in position and pushing all in on Disco Time to hopefully punch that ticket to the Kentucky Derby betting challenge. We'll be back with a lot more content. Check us out in the Money Media.